Hello, and welcome to our session today on coping with anger. For those of you who haven't met me before, I am Hannah. For those of you who know me, welcome back. It's nice to see you all. I am Hannah Stinson, a divine healer, spiritual reader, life coach, and yoga teacher. And along with all of that, I am also a chronic disease warrior. Being a chronic disease warrior, I often felt I wasn't supported on my mental health journey and not taught proper self-care techniques to help me with my overall well-being while dealing with physical flare-ups. So creating this mental health and wellness program for Hope for Stomach Cancer in collaboration with the Stomach Cancer Sisters has honestly been a dream come true, as it's allowing me to do for others what I wasn't able to have support with for myself. So I'm really, really happy that you are all here. We will be starting with a sound bowl meditation around self-love. So I invite you to get yourself comfortable. Whether you want to do this meditation sitting up or lying down is completely up to you. If you're sitting up, just make sure your back is up against something to help you just, stay propped up nicely. I like to imagine that my spine is a bunch of gold coins stacked on top of each other. You don't have to be right up. And then if you're lying down, make yourself as comfortable as possible. Maybe put a pillow underneath your knees to help your low back release, whatever it is you need today. Beginning to focus on your breath. As you get comfortable, just bringing your awareness to your breath, really feeling your inhales and exhales flowing through your body like water down a stream. I invite you to notice where your breath is in your body. Do you feel your breath in your chest? Do your best to send it to your belly. And as you breathe in, feel your breath traveling from your belly to your ribs, to your chest, to your collarbones. And as you exhale, feel your breath traveling back down from your collarbones to your chest, to your ribs, and to your belly. Taking 3 more breaths just like this on your own. Noticing the sensations in your body as you bring these full, fresh breaths of life, breathing in and out. You don't have to force anything. Just allow your breath to be subtle. And if it feels safe, you can now close your eyes. Today's meditation focuses on self-love. I am here to guide and assist you with opening your heart space through your breath. By breathing deeply, you are telling your body to rest, relax, and rejuvenate. This is self-love in the simplest form. You can do this at any time, any day, so you can continue to love and accept yourself for the divine being that you are. In a society of instant gratification, we all fall victim to negative self-talk. Whether we don't get as many likes on a photo on Instagram as we had wanted, or we don't lose as many pounds in our new diet, whatever your negative self-talk is, it is only inhibiting you from opening your heart space to the love that you deserve. Today, we are focusing on working to quiet that voice that tells us that we are not enough or that we don't deserve love. Bringing your attention back to your breath if it has wandered. Where is your breath in your body? Are you continuing with these deep belly breaths? Has your breath made its way back to your chest? Either way, there's no right, there's no wrong. Our breath is traveling through our body constantly. So it's only natural that it's going to get stuck in some areas. If your breath made its way back to your chest, I invite you to do your best to breathe it back down into your belly. These beautiful belly breaths allow us to quiet those voices in our head, our fears, anxieties, worries, and doubts. By using your breath, you are assisting in quieting the mind so you can open yourself up to love. Continuing to breathe and focusing on your next inhale, acknowledging any voices in your head that are coming up, that are bringing up shame or frustration. And as you exhale, just try to let it go. You may not be able to release it all, but I assure you, you'll be able to release a little. Breathing in and feeling your breath expand through your body, bringing you courage, strength, and resilience. Breathing out, releasing any fears, anxieties, worries, and doubts. Again, breathing in, feeling the courage, strength, and resilience enter your body. Breathing out and recognizing that this is a familiar feeling. You have been here before. Whether a specific memory comes to mind or this is something that resonates to your daily life, breathe it in. Know that this is love. You are showing yourself love when you speak your mind, stand up for yourself, accomplish your goals or your dreams, or pull yourself out of a dark place mentally. Take your next 3 breaths to fully breathe into these feelings of self-love. Breathing in and beginning to flood your mind with all of the things you love about yourself. Breathing out and letting that flood spill out. Releasing any feeling of the notion that you are not worthy of love. You are worthy of love, and love is worthy of you. Let your breath be a guide in connecting your heart and your mind with love. Inhaling and feeling the love envelop you like a bright light, starting in the pit of your belly and expanding through the top of your head, the tips of your fingers, your entire body. Exhaling and letting the light of love radiate inside. Feel this tingling from the inside out. Remembering that this feeling of love is within you always. Loving ourselves is a practice. Like meditation or yoga, we must practice self-love through positive self-talk. expanding the wonderful things about ourselves and challenging the negative thoughts as soon as they arise. So hear yourself saying the following in your mind's eye. When I love myself unconditionally, I am able to show that same love to others. I am committing to loving myself today. I allow this love for myself to grow each and every day. I am worthy of the feelings of love and the joys that come with it. No matter what happens or the decisions I make, I choose to support myself with love. I deserve love. I deserve respect. When my self-love grows, my self-esteem follows. I love and accept every part of myself. Every part of me that makes me who I am is encompassed with love. Now I invite you to stay as you are, but bring both of your hands over your heart. Breathe deeply into the space behind your chest, your breastbone. Breathe into your heart space. Sending gratitude to yourself for being here today to open your heart space and truly be in the presence of self-love. Feeling all of this love and acceptance you've cultivated for yourself, your whole life, and of course, in this meditation. Remembering you can access this love at any time. You just need your breath and an open heart. On your next breath in, maybe begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. If it feels good on your exhale, you can roll out your wrists and your ankles. And then bringing your hands wherever feels best in prayer in front of your heart center or back over your heart, both hands. The divine light in me honors the divine light in all of you. Namaste. And slowly opening your eyes, coming back to the present moment. There's no rush. And we come back to the presentation. So I hope you enjoyed that meditation. It will be emailed to you with the resource. So you can download that meditation and listen to it whenever you need, as well as everything I covered today will be in our resource. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't write this all down, don't worry, you don't have to. So what is anger? This is why we're here, right? We're finding out how we can cope better with anger, an emotion we all feel. So anger is an emotion that can range from like little bits of irritation to full-blown rage. It is often thought as a negative emotion, but there are actually a lot of positives to expressing our anger, which we'll get to. And when we don't address our anger, it can turn into aggressive behavior, rage, or even health problems, because not expressing our anger can get bottled up, keep it inside, and manifest on a physiological level. Similar to what we talked about last time with coping with stress, how stress can do the same and really alter our body. So there are some symptoms of anger I wanted to cover. These are like our warning signs, I like to call them. So the physical symptoms can manifest as a lot of things. These are just a few: sweating, headaches, pacing back and forth, raising your voice, feeling like hot or clammy or like red to the face, clenching your fists, aggressive body language like lunging forward at someone, sometimes feeling sick to our stomach, sometimes breathing really fast, our heart pounding in our chest, or tensing our shoulders and our jaw, which sometimes go along with the clenching. And then some emotional or mental symptoms can be, verbally insulting people, becoming really argumentative. The opposite would be getting quiet, shutting down, having trouble concentrating. And I didn't include on there, but of course, like aggressive body language can also include like fighting, hurting others, hurting ourselves. So anger management. As said in an article by Very Well Mind, unchecked anger can often lead to aggressive behavior. And anger management uses various techniques to help a person cope with the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in a healthy and more productive way. When we fail to manage our anger, it really can lead to the problems that affect our daily life, maybe saying things that we regret, threatening others or even ourselves, health problems, or resorting to violence. It can show up as time spent thinking about upsetting events like over and over and over again, venting your problems constantly, like not venting and moving on, and just getting frustrated by like the smallest little daily things, like, traffic being slow, which might cause you to be late to an appointment or to work. Managing our anger doesn't have to mean getting angry. It's really about recognizing our triggers, learning to cope with the anger, which is why we're here, and expressing that anger in a healthy way, getting it out, having it leave the body. It's really a skill that I truly believe we can all learn and we can all master. So let's talk a little bit about strategies for anger management. This is a really good one, evaluating your anger. Because like I said earlier, anger is not always a bad thing. If you're witnessing injustice, your anger could give you the courage to speak up or to help make change. Anger teaches us what we might need to change in a situation, rather than, maybe changing our emotional state. And so this is really, really important. And I wrote this down because it's especially true if you are in an abusive relationship that you are meant to get out of, right? That anger can be that fuel to get you out of somewhere so you can get to safety. But anger becomes a problem when it causes distress, starts to hurt our relationships, our well-being, when we start to feel like everything's out of control. This is the time when we really need to work with our emotions and calm ourselves down. So identifying your triggers. This is a really good one. This is also something that isn't always easy. So really be compassionate with yourself as you start to do these types of things. So, ask yourself, when did you lose your temper last? What types of situations make you angry? This isn't about placing blame at all on ourselves or on others, but it's about understanding that trigger so you can plan accordingly next time it happens. Our triggers are ours. They are not anyone else's. They are ours to heal so we can live a happier, more productive, joy-filled life. And so if there's a situation that makes you angry, sit with it. And be still, put your hands on your body. Breathe into your heart space before you go deeper so you can really let your central nervous system know that it is safe to do this work. Because often when we're feeling angry, we are in a state in our sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight or freeze. We talked about this last time a lot with this coping with stress. And we really have a hard time sometimes moving out of sympathetic to our ventral state, which is like happiness, joy, pleasure. So when you bring your hands over your body and you breathe deeply, you're practicing stillness. You're practicing creating safety for your central nervous system to heal. So when you recognize the warning signs, this is like a kind of like, you're like, okay, maybe I can't think of the triggers beforehand, but I know I'm going to have to when I'm in the moment. So warning signs are great. Okay, these are like our little like flashes of light, being like, okay, like that yellow light on the stoplight, right? Being like, okay, slow down before it gets red and angry. So these are just some, right? It's going to be different for all of us, but your heart racing, feeling flushed. I know that happens for me. I feel like I'm turning red hot. Again, clenching your fists. And then your mind racing and pessimistic thinking, like really like going down a rabbit hole. So when we recognize these warning signs, this gives us an opportunity to take action and prevent ourselves from creating even bigger problems, for getting super angry or turning it into rage, or just even blowing things out of proportion. Because anger will do very, like, it's like a sneaky emotion. It will do very like sneaky things to our thinking, which can then kind of lead us down a path that we don't necessarily have to go down. This is one of the best things to do when you're feeling angry. Step away. I worked as an addictions counselor for many, many years, and this is one of the things I constantly told my residents to do, because they would get very angry with each other, living in a house with all these women, learning to heal from their addiction and their co-occurring mental health issues. So I always said, step away, okay, if you can. Sometimes we don't always have the opportunity, but most of the time we do. You know, take a break so you don't get overwhelmed, or you don't do or say something that you will regret. Taking a break is a chance to calm the body and the mind. So important for our central nervous systems. So when we take a step back, it actually benefits not just us, but the others involved, if there are others involved. All you have to do is let this other person know, hey, I'm taking a break. I need to go be with myself before I respond or move forward to the situation, maybe an argument, whatever it is. Giving yourself that space is a chance to come back to the conversation with a clearer and calmer mind. You know, it's so difficult for every single one of us to resolve conflict when we are upset, when we are angry, when we're in the heat of the moment. So depending on the situation, you might need to schedule a time to finish the conversation. That's okay. You know, it doesn't have to happen in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hour, day. Like if you need a day or two, take it. If you need a week, take it. Again, this is really helpful for both parties involved, people, whatever, because it's holding you accountable that you're going to show up again, you're going to talk this through, and you're also letting that other person know, okay, we are going to discuss this. This isn't just going to like be left at this and, you know, have all this awkward tension. It's going to be resolved. I probably put this in every session we do, but move your body. You know, anger gives us energy. And if that energy is not released, it gets stuck and stored in our bodies, emotionally, mentally, physically. So just release your anger through moving your body. Go for a walk. That's a really easy one. It could just be a walk around the block. If there's something happens at work, let's say, you get into an argument with a coworker or your boss, and it's just so activating. Go for a walk around the block if you can. You know, do a workout class at your gym or at home. I know a lot of us can't go to the gym right now because of the pandemic, but it doesn't mean you can't, you know, put on one of our old yoga classes, or, you know, put on a workout class that really like gets your body moving and your heart pumping. Practice yoga. That's a wonderful one to really bring you back into your body. And again, calm the central nervous system. Have a solo dance party. Put on one of your favorite songs that like boosts your mood no matter what is going on in your life, and just dance around your kitchen, dance around your living room, you know, wherever you are. You're at work or you're at an appointment even, like it's okay to just like, you know, no one's in the appointment room yet, the doctor hasn't come in. Put on a song, dance around. Maybe you don't have a song, you can still dance. But really allow the activity to help clear your mind so your perspective shifts, okay? And you'll feel more positive about what was originally bothering you. Sometimes we just laugh it off, right? Sometimes it's not as big of a deal as maybe we thought it was when we were in that moment, feeling that anger. Mindset work is very helpful. So our thoughts control our emotions. So if you are thinking angry thoughts, it's literally like adding fuel to the fire of being angry. So it's a chance for you to reframe your thoughts to better fuel your emotions. You know, if you are sick and you need to take time off work, look at this as a chance of giving your body to heal instead of beating yourself up for using a sick day, replaying in your mind how your boss might have been dismissive about it, getting angry at your boss or getting angry at yourself. Bring your hands over your heart. I'm taking care of myself. Okay, you just have to say that to yourself. It might not you might be like, oh, this feels weird at first, because sometimes it's easier for us to get upset and be angry at the situation than it is for us to remind ourselves that everything's okay and that we have the control. This is one of my favorites, if I had to choose, for anger management, is exploring your feelings. What is beneath the anger? Anger is a protective coping mechanism to avoid feeling more painful emotions. So this could be something that maybe when you give yourself the opportunity to identify your triggers, you also think about what's underneath the anger. Is it disappointment? Embarrassment? Fear? Fear is a big one that lives underneath anger. Is it sadness? Is it stress? When we are honest about what it is we are feeling, we are able to resolve the issue with awareness and understanding. Okay, this is so imperative. This is so helpful. So we don't respond from a place of anger, or we don't react from a place of anger, which could potentially just, push people away. So again, when you are going to do this of exploring your feelings, get still. Bring your hands over your heart. I'm going to say this a lot during this session. Bring your hands over your heart. Breathe into this anger you're feeling. Maybe identify, where do I feel this in my body? And then breathe into that part of your body. Send that oxygen there. Send that loving kindness there. And then you can sit with that a little bit longer and see which emotions actually underneath the anger. And then you can go with asking yourself, why am I disappointed? What caused the disappointment? How can I heal from the disappointment? Or whatever it is that is living underneath the anger. This is also one of my faves. I'll probably say that a lot, but creating a SERENITY toolkit. So this is like your go-to when you're feeling overwhelmed with anger or any emotions that are living underneath it. The purpose of your SERENITY toolkit is to help you relax and unwind from anything that's triggered the anger or any of the other emotions that are coming along with the anger. When creating your SERENITY toolkit, it's really a great idea to activate your 5 senses. Our 5 senses are our gifts as being human beings and living in our physical bodies. Sight, sound, smell, touch, taste. I just put some examples of what I have in my SERENITY toolkit, so you can really make it very specific to you, but this is just to give you an idea where to get started. Essential oils that assist with relaxation. My favorites are lavender, bergamot, frankincense, and ylang ylang. Your favorite scented lotion. Maybe a photo that brings back really happy memories. An affirmation or mantra that invokes positivity. And I've included a lot of positive affirmations for all of you in your resource that are really going to help. Maybe your favorite snack, some calming music right on your phone. Maybe you have a playlist that's like coping with anger. Any guided meditations, that could be the ones that I've sent out. That can be ones on your own. There's so many apps on our phone that can offer us free guided meditations. And breathing exercises. The simple one. Bring your hands to your heart space. Breathe deeply. Maybe inhaling through the nose and sighing out the mouth. We're also going to do a breathing exercise together called Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. That is absolutely wonderful. I've been doing it for years, and I can definitely tell you that when I am in heightened states of anger or stress or anxiety, any of them, I will do this breathing technique, and it is so, so helpful. So now that we talked about anger management, we'll talk about ways to cope with anger. They probably kind of go like hand in hand, but the more practices, the better, if you ask me. So here are just some to start with. Count down from 10. This gives your mind a chance to focus on something else while your heart rate settles. Remember I said how sometimes that physical symptom is like our heart pounding in our chest, and you can like hear it like in your ears so loud. Again, bring your hands over your heart, close your eyes, count down from 10. Relaxing your muscles, because again, we get tense when we're angry. So practicing slowly tensing and releasing different muscles is a really good way to relax our muscles in a very like conscious state. So as you do it, you breathe very slowly and you tune into each muscle group, starting with your feet and working your way up. So you'll start with your feet and you like clench your toes up, clench your feet and then relax. Inhale, clench, exhale, relax. Do that with your legs. Inhale, clench, exhale, relax. Okay. Tense, relax, and then until you get all the way up to your head. And you can do that as many times as you need, but once or twice is probably going to help slow the heart rate and get you to a more calm state. Positive affirmations are great. Again, like I said, I'm going to give you so many, but these are just a few that can help in the moment. Telling yourself, again, hands over your heart, I am relaxed, I am safe, all is well. Just very simple. They don't have to be complicated. Write in your journal. Last time we talked about having a stress journal. Maybe you want to add to your stress journal and have an anger journal. So sometimes we can't say what we want to say in the moment. So just write it down. Processing through written word is a really great way to calm ourselves down and reassess our feelings. Because sometimes when we see it down on paper, we're like, oh, okay, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. Maybe I was really reactionary, those kinds of things. And you don't have to like beat yourself up and be like, oh my God, I got so angry. Why the heck did I do that? No. It's just like becoming aware. Writing in your journal can be a really good way to help identify your triggers without actually asking, okay, what are my triggers? Maybe you go back and reflect on your journal and it's like, oh, I see the connection now. At least that's what helps for me. Talking to a trusted friend. Our friends are so beautiful. Maybe if it's not a friend, maybe it's someone going through the same thing as you, someone else on the cancer journey. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's a therapist or a healer. It doesn't have to just be a friend, but, co-regulation is so key. Having someone to hold space for you while you talk about what went on is really helpful. So you don't have to continue to carry it, Writing a letter. Okay. I will be honest with you. The other day, I was very activated. I had gotten into an argument with somebody around some social justice issues, and I couldn't say what I wanted to say because I really did shut down in the moment. I felt very like, oh my gosh, that's how I respond when I'm in a state of anger. I shut down. And so I wrote a letter and I wrote everything that was making me angry because I knew I wasn't going to give this person the letter. Okay. The point here is not to like mail it out and send it on its way. You're not giving this letter to this person or to these people or the situation. Just lets you get it out. So, you don't have to carry it anymore. And then the bonus would be to burn it in a safe place, of course. If you can go outside, if you don't have a safe place or you can't go outside, you can burn it in your kitchen sink because then there's the water there just in case. But this allows you to release that energy from your auric field. So you're not even carrying it anymore. And then bonus, burn it after a full moon. because when we are going from the full moon to the new moon, we are in a waning cycle, and that's all about release. Just some tips. Gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. You can never practice enough gratitude if you ask me. It's hard sometimes when we're in states of anger, or even when we're going through situations that make us really angry. You know, I used to be so angry for having chronic disease. I live with liver disease and endometriosis, and I used to curse the world because of the pain, of the symptoms, of the surgeries, of the appointments, of the never-ending scans and tests. But now I know I'm blessed because I'm here. I'm alive. So I focus on the positives of my situation, and this is going to help neutralize that anger, okay? And sometimes practicing gratitude can be really tough at first, especially if you're not used to it, but I promise it's a practice, little bits every day. Another big one, practicing empathy, okay? Try to view the situation that made you angry from the other person's perspective. Again, not always easy to put ourselves in the other person's shoes, especially when we're in the height of anger. So maybe you practice empathy after you counted down from 10, you took a break, you wrote in your journal. But it's kind of like walking in their shoes, right? It might give you a new perspective so you can better see where they were coming from, you know? So you're not so like, they were awful. Why did they do this to me? You know, you can kind of be like, oh, okay, see like why they were activated. And then practicing creative self-regulation. This is one that I do all the time. This is when I teach my clients. This is when I did what was huge when I worked back in addictions with the residents I worked with was, you know, like putting your anger into a positive activity, a positive outlet. So these are just a few examples, but cooking, gardening, painting, writing poetry, just a few. But it's like getting yourself moving in a different way and focusing on something that brings you joy, that brings you happiness. So now we have come to this integration part of our session today, and I want to go over alternate nostril breathing, also known as Nadi Shodhana. This is something I learned in my yoga teacher training, and I've now been doing it for almost 3 years, over 2 years. It's so powerful. It's so helpful. The first few times you do it, it's probably going to feel odd, like anything, right? When we try something new, it kind of sometimes feels like weird. But just like go easy on yourself. It's not something you have to do for, you know, hours every day, just 1 minute to start with, to get used to it. And then it's something that you can add to your Serenity toolkit. So we use our thumb and our ring finger. I can't get my pinky. You're supposed to sometimes get your pinky to go down, but I don't, no, my hands just don't work that way. So that's okay. And what's happening here, so I'm right-handed. If you use your left hand, then just do the opposite. But what basically happens is the thumb is going to cover the right nostril, and your ring finger is going to cover the left nostril. And I just want to show you, I'm not like pushing down on that part there. You know, the part where it kind of dips in, you just touch there. Okay, that's going to feel a lot more natural than squishing down here, and it does its job. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to just breathe through each side with one nostril. And so the reason that this works is because you're balancing the yin and yang energies of your body. You're balancing both sides. You're calming your central nervous system. You're telling your body you are safe. Okay, and this actually has such healing benefits. When you practice alternate nostril breathing every day, specifically, it's supposed to be for 20 minutes or more a day, but that can seem like a very long time. So again, 1 minute is fine, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you know, work your way up. You can heal mental, physical, and emotional ailments. I have healed a lot with this. So we're just going to take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, just being conscious of your breathing now. And then I want you to cover your left nostril. Breathe out the right. Breathe in the right, cover your right nostril. breathe out the left, breathe in the left, cover, breathe out the right, breathe in the right, cover, breathe out the left. Now that you know the sequence, just follow along your own breath. We're going to do this for 10 more breaths. Two more each side. And then let it go. Take a few breaths. And there you go. Now you have it. That's alternate nostril breathing. It's pretty simple. You might feel a little shift in your energetic state. Maybe you feel a little more calm, a little more relaxed. This is a really great one to do when you are feeling really activated. I also do this every morning and every night. So I do this for 3 minutes when I wake up, during my morning routine, and then I do it for 3 minutes before I go to bed. It just helps me clear my energy in the morning and the night. And I've been doing that for quite some time now, and I really highly suggest it. Even again, if you're only doing like 10 breaths to start, you don't have to do it for 3 minutes or 5 or whatever, just whatever feels best for you. So these are some journal prompts for releasing anger. We're not going to do them together today, but they are in your resource that will be emailed, so you'll have all of them. But these are just some ones that I find really helpful. You know, how important is this in the grand scheme of things? Is it really worth me getting angry about? What are those emotions underneath that need to be processed? Is being angry about this really worth it? Oh, I put that in there twice. Sorry about that. Is my response, is this response to the situation appropriate? Like, am I getting too activated? You know, is there anything I can do to process my anger at this moment, right in the moment? And how can I take action and release the anger that I'm feeling? And now you have so many resources, so many tools to add to your toolkit that you can process the anger in the moment, and you can take action to release the anger that you're feeling. And then I included some positive affirmations. You know, I attract loving and caring people into my life. Every action I take carries the energy of love. I grow and become a better version of myself every day. I included lots, so you can go through them and pick the ones that are most resonant to you, that feel the best in your body. If there are ones that you're like, I don't really like any of these, create your own. You know, it's really easy. You can create your own. You can Google some. You can take some of the things I said in the self-love meditation. Those can be your positive affirmations. Really make it work for you. And these are just some more. One of my favorites to do when I am in an activated state, I put it on here, is I release all tension from my body and mind, as well as I am calm and relaxed in all situations. And then, of course, there's some resources. So there we go. Okay. Thank you so much for being here and for participating today and really working to cope with the anger that you might be feeling through all of your journey on your, you know, through your cancer journey, through your recovery, through your surgeries, through your appointments, and honestly, just through everyday life. So I'm so grateful for you for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.